simplify the bottom 20% of clients. First of all, what constitutes a bottom, right? There's so many different ways, and realistically, as a property manager, if I wanted to get rid of Bill, I'm sure I could, ascertain that he fits into the bottom 20% category, either based on the amount of problematic scenarios that arise, the risk factors with Bill, my disdain for Bill, and the list goes on. But when you're looking at that bottom 20%, are they problematic in such that they cause you a problem? And just quietly, isn't that what we're there to do, is to solve their problems? What is the problem exactly that they're creating for you? And in the problem that they're creating, are they creating that with a value return for you? So am I still making a profit off Bill in essence? Bill might ring me every other day, but am I making a profit off Bill? And if I get rid of Bill, am I just getting rid of Bill, or is there a ripple effect around, and all the Bills in that 20%, is there a ripple effect in the community, in the other value add that client may provide into my bottom line? So as an example, if I've got a sales business attached, or I've got a loans business attached, or some other form of income generation, am I getting more from Bill than just that? Now, of course, we've all met a Bill that is not dollar productive, right? And you can call him whatever you like. When you're looking at it, what I'm asking you to do in essence is to analyse each person individually, look at what their makeup is, and whilst they might be causing you 20% of the problems, what's their value to you? What's the return on your investment of time? Looking at that as a wider berth. And then secondly to that, so therefore, not just cutting off the bottom 20%, but then looking at those people and saying, well, you know what? Yes, I've got these 20% of people, and what would actually happen to my bottom line if I removed the bottom line? And quite often, if you just went and did that, you'd actually push your profit down, and you may actually go into the red by just removing them. So it's just, again, it's another analysis opportunity to see how can we do it better. And of course, there might be some people that fall out as a result of that as well. In property management, when we identify high dollar productive versus lower dollar productive, it's very different to the sales space. And the first thing that we need to identify is that within property management, there are, let's call it 4 different segments of employment and functionality. So you'll have the leadership piece, and whether or not that's a department manager or a team leader or the business owner, you've got that. So that's the leadership piece. Then you've got the management piece, or the account management as we're now moving to, which is the people that physically manage the properties. Then you've got the sales piece, which is the growth and leasing arm. And then the 4th part is your accounts and your administration kind of tied up there into each of them. So in each one of those, there will then be either non-dollar productive or low dollar productive activities. And I think then when you look at those, again, we go with the above the line and below the line concept. If I was to say, okay, well, as a leader, what would be dollar productive and non-dollar productive? I think the easiest way to look at it is, would I be paying somebody to do that task what I should be getting paid per hour? So when we do leadership coaching, it's around, well, how much do you want to earn per hour? Metaphorically, I want to earn $200 an hour. Great, well, if I could get somebody to do that task for $35 an hour, then straight away, that's a non-dollar productive activity for me to be doing. And so you go into that, what's there? Well, there's strategy, there's leadership, there's forecasting, there's visionary stuff, there's the training and development with the skill set that you have as a leader that perhaps other people in your business just do not have. And so you've got to look at, how can you, as an individual, work with your team? What is the best skill that you could be doing internally in your business in order to ensure that you get the most out of those people? And then you go over to growth. So what's more important, creating a social media clip or sitting in front of a client and doing a listing presentation? Well, I don't think you need to be Sherlock Holmes to work out which one of those 2 is going to make you more money. Is it checking the tenancy database to make sure that tenant is actually a appropriate tenant, or is it going out there and showing the property or running through the database to get more people at the home? Again, you can see which one of those 2 just intrinsically. You don't have to be a legend to work that out. It's there. Where we struggle is down when we get into the admin and the accounts functions, because admin and account, we believe that those things are non-dollar productive. And of course, technically they are, but If your accounts, and I see this all the time, technically we see that, cross-checking that we've charged people appropriately, looking at the reviewing of our income versus our expenditure for end of month statement time. We've gone to tribunal, but we haven't charged somebody the tribunal fee. Is that non-dollar productive or dollar productive? And so you end up at some level having dollar productive activity across everyone. It's just whether or not you can tangibly allocate the productivity of the dollar, the taking of the dollar, if you like, from the client, versus it happens to be part of the service delivery model. If you're out there selling, I need you to bringing in the dollars. That's your end function, and the admin can go down to the below the line people. Again, it's the 80-20 rule, but it's with humans in your office.